Okay, so we had some technical difficulties and we lost the second half of
Oops.
our review. That's totally my fault.
But actually, I'm totally okay that that happened.
Yeah.
So
Because
so we were talking about well, where it got cut off is we were talking about theories.
and you were starting to talk about corrupted Jedi.
Yes. So there's a couple of theories that we can go with, and I'm actually it's amazing what just like 10 minutes of research can do because I actually totally don't hate everything anymore. So I still hate Makomon and Mako.
Yeah.
So don't. We're still not done hating them, but
we stand by everything we said in the first part.
yes, yes. So at this point, we're just trying to give a reason, like the reason why there's a reboot, and why Jenna is wearing black, and why Maki, sorry, is so sketchy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things that we can talk about with that. First off, let's start with there was an article and it's actually in a manga. And it was sorry that I'm looking off screen right now, but so the title of the article was "Who is this mystery man?" and it has a big picture of the Kaiser. And so clearly this was teasing the movie before it came out, and obviously it was saying that wasn't Ken.
Right.
And we find out that it was Jedi. The two questions that I want to mention right here, which then led me to searching for other things, which then led me to finding things that make me not hate this so much anymore. So we have this kind of debunks what I was just trying to say about the reason for the reboot, but it still might hold water.
Oh, about the villain having to sever the bond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like that.
I like it too. It might still just be a side effect, like a wanted side effect, not necessarily a planned side effect, so it can still be a possibility. It does say that was there a mastermind behind the infected Digimon, and it's basically after a bunch of words basically saying no. So that we have to interpret a little bit differently now.
Right, because they said that the reboot was the reason to get rid of the infection.
Yeah. So, but even, yeah, I'm still, I don't know. But that's the only, I'm going to stick with that for now because that's the only reason that makes me accept the reboot. So, that's it. That's, as for, the next one was, what's the identity of the black cube that went inside the Digi-Egg in the first chapter? So we also briefly talked about that.
Well, and you mentioned the whole, like, the white and black.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were going to get to that.
Yeah, I can't remember what was cut off. So.
Yeah, I don't know, I understand.
So, the connection is that it's with a past series, and that the Digi-Egg has already hatched and has become some sort of Digimon. And that Digimon has a big connection for this series. And this one I can't quite figure out. The Digi-Egg pattern being similar to Gaudamon's is a big deal. I'm not sure why. That one I can't figure out. But other than that, they also mentioned Hackmon, which, again, the Royal Knights are definitely something to do with this. What exactly they have to do with it, I'm not quite sure. And I think that's, I think those are like the two big ones. Because that second question was what made me start to go searching. And then I ended up watching because another theory is the Millenniummon theory, and who or what it is, and I had totally forgotten, or maybe I just didn't know, that Millenniummon is a Jogress of Chimeramon and Machinedramon The Machinemon's on the next poster. So I think it's pretty much confirmed that this is our big baddie. I think it's like slam dunk, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So how that happens, because it gets a little, it's all confusing, because now we have to go back to the WonderSwan games with Ken and Rio, and everything that happened, and then we have that there's literally 45 seconds in O2 where we see Ken and Rio together, and then Ken gets the spore. And then there's a bunch of time travel paradoxes that happen, and try to wrap your head around it. I'm not really there. But, so like one of the things that somebody was saying was, so if, what was it, like, if it was Millenniummon or was it Digimon? So
Millenniummon created the Dark Spores to ensure that Ken would become the Kaiser and create Chimeramon, therefore ensuring Millenniummon's eventual existence.
Yes. So, another interesting fact, totally forgot this too, Magnamon is a royal knight. Magnamon destroyed Chimeramon. So, it maybe not super relevant, but it's a royal knight, and a royal knight that cannot, it's very difficult to get out because that was like a one-time use. They've been able to finagle Magnamon a couple of other times.
That's right.
Hurricane Touchdown was just because, I mean, one, it's very not totally canon, and also they were like going back in time as well.
Oh, you're right.
And that, so you can finagle around that, and then in V-Tamers, because I was just reading that article earlier too, but that's also not necessarily canon either, because that's an alternate universe. So, canonically, we've only seen Magnamon once. So, which then...
Well, from what I understand, that was also part of Millenniummon's plan, because Chimeramon needed to die so that his dead data could fuse with Machinemon's dead data, and it's a little weird. I don't quite get it. But, but
how dead data works, which is something that we've never really discovered, but whether or not that means that, again, it didn't say that it was a mastermind or anything, but it's just like, well, what if it's like floating in the air and then now it's a virus or something?
Yeah.
I mean, if he has intention, then like, if he has intention of being able to find himself and then create Millenniummon, like, does he have the power to also just like mess up data of other Digimon? I don't know. We'll see. But I can almost 100% guarantee at this point that is our main guy. So, that movie poster says it all.
Done.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good.
High five.
All right. We cracked the code with the help of many others very smart, nerdy people.
Yes. You did some great sleuthing.
I have no life. But, alright, so I totally don't hate this.
Yeah.
But that means that, probably... So the Kaiser is important then. Mm-hmm. The Kaiser probably is real in some aspects. We might actually be seeing an idea that I've had for a very long time in fanfiction. Where like Ken's spore is probably being reactivated for realty. Because they harvested it, but they explained that it never goes away.
No.
So, which has always been like one of my favorite things about the spore, because their explanation at the end of O2 where it was just like, yeah, it never goes away, but as long as you believe in yourself, you'll be fine. It's like, that's not a good explanation. Mm-hmm. So, that means that it probably can be reactivated. If it can be reactivated by having like no self-confidence, I'm pretty sure it can be reactivated in other ways.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they could have done like shown Ken growing up and losing his self-confidence.
oh, that would have been awesome.
Right.
But, you know, with time travel paradox stuff,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want and make it work.
That's true.
So it's hacky. I mean, if you
It
want
is
to talk
hacky.
about tropes that are overused,
Yeah.
then there's one right there. But you know what? I'm okay because then it means that O2 kids are definitely gonna come back soon. So, and which, and then it explains a little bit. Now we have to determine which side the Royal Knights are on, because I'm taking this from. Okay, I didn't finish Cyber Sleuth, but I am seeing like where they're taking a lot of influence from the other series. Like you can definitely see a lot of Tamers in this so far. Like just with how they're explaining a lot of certain things, and a lot of things seem to be, you know, like they have the organization. There seems to be like the layers between the worlds now.
You mean Try is taking a lot of cues from Tamer?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. So, like, I think they're starting to borrow a lot of influences from the other universes that they've created. And that's, like, one of the things that I really like about Digimon, too, is that they aren't afraid to be like, no, we're using the same sort of ideas, but we're creating new. Mm-hmm. So it's not like Pokemon where, like, Ash is always Ash.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, okay, no, we have these group of kids, and then it sometimes changes, and you know, we also have cross wars where they can cross dimensions, and then they bring all of the legendary heroes together. Mm-hmm. So, but like Cyber Sleuth specifically, if we talk about that, I didn't finish it, sorry. But the part that I got up to, at least, we found out that the Royal Knights in that game were actually kind of your bad guys, because they were trying to prevent, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were trying to prevent something happening between the real world and the digital world. There was some sort of like thing going on between the two that they didn't want to happen. So they ended up being the ones that you really had to worry about. So it's whether or not our Royal Knights in this movie series are actually not on the chosen children's side. So, because normally you would think Royal Knights, they're the good guys, but they might not be.
Yeah.
So, and that would explain if they see that there's like some sort of like, that would explain why they might have had to defeat the O2 kids at the beginning, because if they saw Ken as a threat. So, because like, if he has any way of like helping catalyst Millenniummon back together, then he needs to be gone.
Yeah.
So, and then that might be the reason why he somehow lost his D3 as well. Yeah. His D3 was the one that was at the beginning of the first movie.
Yeah.
So she had to have somebody retrieve that.
Yeah.
For her. Don't know who, but, and I never liked the fact that Alphamon was they're all like the Royal Knights are just like, you don't know their motive, because in the first movie he grabs out the Kalagumon and destroys it. So I don't know. Those are the ones we have to watch out for. Watch out for Millenniummon.
Yeah, well, just because if we're going to assume that the Royal Knights are not on the Chosen Kid side, that doesn't necessarily mean they are on Millenniummon's side. They could be a third party that's like...
No, I don't think that they're on Millenniummon's side.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying, like, if they're trying to prevent something happening in the real world, maybe they're trying to prevent the eventual, like, bond between the real... And this would also explain why they weren't affected by the reboot. Maybe they wanted to reboot.
Oh.
Maybe they were trying to sever the bond between the kids. Maybe they want to keep the digital world and the real world separate. I'm just spitballing.
No, that's what they do in Cyber.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So maybe they want to sever the bond, and then Millenniummon's just like, well, that helps me, so I'm gonna allow it.
Yeah. I think looking at it as at 3 separate things. Still not sure what Maki is.
Yeah.
But I think even if we go back to because she would have been before the Spores. So I'm not quite sure what her thing is. But she must.
Oh, were you gonna say that maybe she was Spore child?
Well, what about Oikawa? Because I mean, if he was older,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't like he was being controlled by Mel and my oldest one.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's the same sort of thing,
I like that theory a lot.
So
especially because they made it clear that he did have a partner.
Yeah.
So it could be a thing where like Maki has some kind of connection to the digital world and she's being used.
Yeah. I mean, none of this answers Millenniummon. But
okay,
I'm at the point that I just don't care.
Yeah.
So
well, you said okay. Bring it back to Millenniummon. You said that the egg in the beginning having a pattern similar to Gachimon was significant.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't that article also say that it was related to a Digimon that had already appeared? Or because I'm starting to think, could that have been Millenniummon's egg that we saw get infected?
Hold on a second. Can I pull this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, we do know the pattern for Millenniummon's egg.
Oh, okay.
I just have to. Now I have to check. Because they had merchandise. They had the dice bag.
Oh, right.
Merchandise. Yeah. And actually, that's exactly what I'm just gonna go to. I do believe it's a black egg.
Oh.
Of course. Yeah, of course it is. Don't be silly. Of course it's a black egg. But well, maybe. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You can keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know if this got cut off, but I was just gonna say, one of the things that it mentioned in the article was that, talking about Genai, is that Genai's whole deal is secrecy,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that there's a government bureau in the real world that now knows all about the digital world, and they said that they got their information from Genai. That article said that's a big clue to like maybe something has happened to Genai. So obviously, what?
It's Millenniummon.
It's a recolor. It's a recolor.
Yeah, it's a recolor. It's a black egg with the same exact pattern as Gahamon's. So
maybe it is her egg in the beginning.
Yeah.
Getting infected.
Yeah.
Does my original character do not steal?
Yeah. I was gonna say something else too. Okay, so this, and I was telling you about this earlier too. So this also probably helps confirm this Millenniummon thing. Just because I'm a huge collector. I don't know if you can tell. And I've been massively collecting all the Digimon stuff that I can find, and or at least stuff that I'm interested in. And they are releasing a lot of Tamers merchandise right now, and on top of the original series and O2. That's kind of like where we got, like we didn't know that the O2 kids were going to be in the first Try movie, and they released the Ken figure before we knew. So they're releasing, we're getting Rika and Takato at the beginning of this year and this coming year. And they are releasing like a bunch of pouches for a lot of the Tamers.
Oh.
And you know they had Beelzemon, and they're coming out with Jerry and Leomon, and So I was like, why are they releasing all this Tamers stuff if there's like no connection? But if there's Ryu.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In the anime,
Yeah.
Ryu is a direct connection between.
So I think that's just another, because they're, why would they merchandise something? I mean, Tamers is popular, but like, I don't think that they would make that dramatic leap if they weren't going to be able to connect it somehow.
Yeah. We're not
merchandising with anime is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's how they get all their money.
That's true.
So
we're not getting Frontier merchandise. So.
Exact that I brought that up to you.
Right.
They are. I mean, I know that Frontier has a following. I've never seen it because I can't get past. I'm probably gonna make a lot of people angry, but I just can't get past like the first 20 episodes. I think they're so boring. So, but I know there's a huge following, and I know that a lot of people like it. So if they're going through all of these series, why haven't we seen a single thing yet? Tamer just seems so out of place. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. And I don't remember what else we were trying to talk about, but that's... I think we started to get a rage, but...
We did start to get a rage. Because we were talking about the 02 kids being missing, and how we were really upset that none of their friends care at all.
Yeah. And it's
none
still...
of their families care.
Yeah, and it upsets me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, now that I think I see where the connection is and why they're taking the time to do it, I think I might be okay with it now. But it's just been... It's been very frustrating, and to the point where, like, I almost wish that they just weren't there.
Yeah, they're laying the groundwork for something. I think we can see that now. But just the fact that the kids, the adventure kids, remember the 02 kids existed, but they're not concerned with the fact that their friends have been gone for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Years at this point. So, like, even Matt, there's that one scene where Matt asks, he says, he's like, oh, I'm really worried that I haven't been able to get in touch with AG.
Yeah.
He's like, are you?
Are you really?
Yeah.
And also, we're gonna talk, and then we're gonna just talk immediately about Mako. I'm not even Mako. I'm just not even going to address your question. We're just gonna skip over this, and nobody's gonna be like, no, I don't want to talk about her. I want to talk about where Ichijoji is. And then it's like, no. Well, I guess that's good enough. I guess you're just gonna ignore me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about your OC, I guess. Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, I'm like not as angry as I was.
No.
Anymore. I'm like totally chill now. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So you missed some pretty good rants probably, but like
Yeah.
I'm pretty chill now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what else to say now.
I did want to mention, I forgot.